Welcome to Sidekicks with Heather Goodenkoff and Lolo, where we get a chance to chat with our favorite authors and their pets. And today I am so excited. We get to visit with Francesca Serritella, New York Times bestselling author and columnist, and most recently, the author of The Ghost of Harvard, which has been getting rave reviews. I'm so excited to see it out there and all the buzz around it. Thank you so much for being here, Francesca. Tell us who you brought today.
Oh my gosh, thank you so much for having me, Heather. And Pip.
Oh,
this is the love of my life, my little dog, Pip.
So what kind of dog is Pip?
He is a Cavalier King Charles Spaniel, and he's the love of my life.
Horrible. And how did he come into your life?
You know, he was actually a graduation gift for me. I graduated college and was ready to move into my own place in New York, and you know, I moved there with a suitcase and a puppy, and he was my happiness insurance, and it worked. So that was the best. And he was available for me because he's sort of a show dog fail. I don't want him to hear this part.
Okay.
But he was, you know, intended to be that, and then he had an undescended testicle.
Oh.
And that made him not show quality.
Oh, that doesn't seem right.
For adoption from a very responsible breeder, and I was able to get him, and you know what? And the second one came down just in time for me to neuter them. So
perfect.
You know, their loss was my gain, and
exactly.
Just made me so incredibly happy. Is that too weird story to
share? No, because you know, actually, Lolo came into our life in a somewhat similar way. My husband hunts, but we aren't, I mean, it's not the priority for a dog, but yeah. When we contacted someone, we saw Lolo, and she had been returned because she was a little shy for hunting.
Yeah.
And we were like, we'll take her. And she's just the sweetest thing ever. Yeah, sweetest thing. So they find us, don't they?
I really do. I have a little behavior motivation here.
Oh, yeah, I do too. I use mine all up. So she's off screen. Oh, there she's trying to get it. She's off screen.
What a good little shake. Yeah. That's one of his few tricks.
That's not a shake. That's a like, pay attention to me.
Okay.
Snack. So, oh my goodness. So, why did you decide Pip for a name?
You know, I named him after the hero of Great Expectations. I'm a big Charles Dickens fan, and something just about the poetry of us both moving to New York on our own. And, you know, he was a litter of one. He was an only child, which is very rare, and I'm an only child, and just something about it touched me. So that's what he's named after. Like I said, even though he was a show dog fail, I thought he still deserved to be registered, and the breeder had wanted to show him under the name Holyoke's Pinot Nino Grigio. I was like, no, I'm not going to go with that. So I still registered him as Holyoke's Great Expectations. So that made the English major in me very happy, and he goes by Pip.
So much fun. And you know, I know you got him for your travel buddy to a new life and a new world. Does he contribute to your writing life in any other ways? Or?
Oh my God, he contributes to everything. I mean, it really is remarkable the way that a cute dog just like opens up other people, the world. You know, everybody jokes that New Yorkers are unfriendly or that they don't know their neighbors. He's practically my apartment building's mascot. We know everybody. It's the ultimate icebreaker. People smile and talk to me all the time. So it's like he's influenced just my surroundings all the time. I'm surrounded by a force field of positivity with this dog, but also it really helps the, you know, as novelists, we want to be observers and connect with people. And it's uncanny, like, that strangers have opened up to me about stories, like, while they're petting him. I've had more people start crying than you can believe. Somebody will say, you know, if something's going on in their life, they just start opening up and being like, oh, I just lost my mom and this dog is so sweet. And it's incredible. So I feel like he's this story collector and character magnet, you know, like we just go to a park and sit and have a ton of interactions that I wouldn't normally have. So that's great, and just balances, you know, the isolated writer's life, honestly.
Yes, yeah, they get us out and moving and out and about too. Yeah,
right.
Yeah, I think, you know, it's fair to say pets are part therapy dogs, part companions, part inspiration, and
Yeah.
yeah.
I'd say he does give structure to my day, but the truth is he has like a teenage boy's schedule. He would sleep in until 11 a.m. every day if I didn't wake him up. So, but honestly, he's like the perfect writer's companion. He doesn't mind a late night every now and then. He just hangs out. He's very mellow.
Oh, that's fun. Now, did you have pets growing up?
Totally. I've never eaten a homemade meal that didn't have dog hair in it. I'm at my mother's house right now in Pennsylvania because of the sad pandemic.
Yeah.
So it's like all of our animals combined. Right now we're in a house with a total of 5 dogs, 3 cats, so I've always had multiple pets. Growing up, we had shepherd mix and a poodle and 3 golden retrievers at one point, a corgi, an attitudinal corgi who was so fun. And I kind of got us started on these dogs. So now we have a little mini mafia of small dogs after having been a big dog family for a very long time. But yeah, we've always had a whole menagerie.
Oh, that's so much fun. I keep trying to talk my husband into getting a friend for Lolo. It hasn't worked yet, but it doesn't stop me from trying. One of these days.
Right. Oh, it's like, and once you cross the threshold, once you have 2, you're like, what's the difference between 3,
Yes. Yeah.
I've kept it 1 girl, 1 dog, because like I said, he really is, he's a people dog. I was going to say people person. He's a people dog. He loves having the attention. He doesn't really love dog parks. He's very friendly with other dogs, but I don't feel like he craves another playmate. And I have a cat, so but he lives in like fear and respect.
Well, cats demand that, I think.
Right. Yes, she's like a Machiavellian ruler. It's better to be feared than loved, and she inspires fear in Pip. But I love her, and she's very affectionate with me. But she's good with him. Just every now and then, she has to like swipe him and goose him just when he least expects it, so he remembers his place.
He's in charge. So, who's your favorite animal from literature then? Talking about your love of literature and
I was also a big horse lover growing up. I grew up riding. We have some horses on this property, so I really loved all of those. My Friend Flicka and that whole series, and that was such it was like an easy transition from reading the more teenager thoroughbred series to then My Friend Flicka. But those books are actually really beautifully written and really powerful descriptions and all kinds of stuff. So those really captured my imagination, and a lot of the books with dogs in them end sadly. So
we know that there's going to be some tears if there's a dog in the book.
Right. It pained me not to get to put a pet in Ghosts of Harvard because it was set on a college campus. But my next novel, which is a little too soon to talk about, but my first decision about it was that the character is going to have a dog.
Yeah. I put an animal in every single one of my books, mostly dogs.
Right.
But it's just, just kind of what I expect now from I've got to find a place for a dog in here, even if it's a small part.
And I wrote a memoir series co-authored with my mom, Lisa Scotolini, for years. We did 9 books of these essay collections. And since those were about my life, we wrote about our animals constantly. So much so that Pip is now like a known person because it was based on a column that also ran in the Philadelphia Inquirer. So I remember I was home, I guess maybe last year or the year before for Christmas, and I was shopping at the hardware store, and somebody was just shopping nearby and looking at Pip and admiring how cute he is. And I said, "Oh, Pip, come here." And she said, is that Pip Serritella? Like, she didn't know me. She was like, you might be Francesca, but that's Pip. And she knew about him from writing in the column in the paper and in the books. And honestly, nothing made me happier. It made me 1,000. I wasn't jealous. I'm such a stage mom. I was like, yes, it is Pip.
I was going to bring Lolo to one of my book events for my book before this one, and for some reason it didn't work out, and I told people on social media that she was coming, and when she wasn't there, they were quite disappointed. Because
right? Oh no, I get that. We always brought the dogs, the well-behaved ones. Pip is our real front-facing PR dog, because I think because of New York, he's so socialized to crowds and he's incredibly reliable. I never ever have to worry about this dog. So we had gotten in the habit of taking him on a lot of our tour stops if they were local. And I know that, I mean, there was a lot of, you know, adjustments and heartbreaks with touring during this pandemic, but the most thing that got most written about to me from like emails and messages from readers was, I'm so sad that you can't bring Pip to the bookstore now. So yeah.
So Ghost of Harvard, tell us a little more about it. It's just a creepy kind of thriller.
Yeah, you know, it's a genre bender. I tried to write a book I hadn't read yet, and I would say it's, you know, part psychological thriller. It has this historical and supernatural threads, but it also, I think, at its heart is really a family story. It's about a young woman named Cadence Archer who has sadly just lost her beloved genius older brother to suicide, and she's really grappling and struggling with that loss. But he was a genius. He went to Harvard. His future looked so bright. And then he was diagnosed with schizophrenia and everything went wrong. And he ended up tragically taking his own life. So at the beginning of the book, she's both grappling with that history, but makes a decision to attend Harvard once she gets in herself to try to piece together that final year of his, why he made that unfathomable act. And while she's there, she fears she's losing her grip on reality herself. She starts hearing voices. And then the new question is, does she share her brother's mental illness, or could these voices be ghosts? And if she listens, you know, will they give her the closure she so desperately craves, or are they leading her down a path of her own self-destruction? So that's the book. And it was a heavy topic in some ways, so close to my heart, but certainly living in that mind space and empathizing with that so much as I was writing it, it was very nice to have a little soft, fuzzy, comforting little creature around.
Yeah, because thrillers, I mean, they can be dark, and I know writing about mental illness is so important, and you know, just that awareness is so important, and many people can relate to it. So tackling that is a heavy topic that I'm sure impacted you, and having your furry friend with you, Pip, makes a big difference.
Yeah, it just reminded me, I mean, if anything, like I said, I feel like animals and our relationships with them are so fundamental and so evocative of that connection that we all crave. And that, you know, just a simple, our minds make things complicated. Our minds can play tricks on us. Our minds can torture us. Our minds can do all these things. But an animal is so present, is so, you know, pure, the nonverbal, just simple communication. It's really actually powerful. I feel like I have learned so many of my greatest lessons about life and people from animals.
Absolutely. What are you reading these days?
Oh, I'm reading a lot. I'm at the beginning of, I'm writing my second novel right now. And I always start by reading so much. You know, I have an idea, I have a proposal that I give to my publisher, but really my inspiration always comes from other books. So I love Gothic fiction. I've actually just been rereading short stories collected from Gothic fiction from, you know, Anne Radcliffe and Edgar Allan Poe, all the way, you know, through more modern Faulkner, Flannery O'Connor, just to get a sense of feminism and some Gothic themes. This book was very much an exploration of grief, but the next book is more of an exploration of love, romance, and the duality to all those things. So I'm thinking about reading a lot of Gothic stuff and different kinds of things, and actually reading some books about dogs as well, because the book deals with scent and the power of scent and memory, perfume and memory, and I'm really doing some interesting, fun research about the way humans perceive scent, but also the way animals do, like dogs.
Oh, that sounds fascinating. I can't wait. Very exciting. Very nice. So if Pip were to describe you, phrase or maybe 3 words, what would he say?
How he would describe me? Yes. Obsessed with him. He welcomes it. He never tires of me petting him, but he also knows that I'm always available for love. So he knows where his bread is buttered. He would probably describe me as, what would you describe me as? Um, Mellow and stingy because he always wants more food. I was gonna say he would tell me boring, but he really wouldn't because he is like pretty low. I mean, not I say don't mean this in an insulting way. He's kind of low energy himself. He's sort of having had like a corgi that is a herding dog and very intense. Pip is just the antithesis of that. He is so far from like his wolf brethren and ancestors. He's not very instinctual. He's the world's worst watchdog. If anybody rings our doorbell, he's just like, oh, Chinese food is here. Go get it. Like he's never barks. So he kind of likes to just chill. He's a real Netflix and chill type.
Yeah, well, he is adorable. Serritella, thank you so much for being with us today. We can't wait to see what you have next. And right now, The Ghosts of Harvard is on sale everywhere. And people need to run out and get it.
Oh, Heather, thank you so much. Thank you for letting me talk about my favorite topic.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Bye.